Well, hey guys, welcome to my channel, welcome to my stream, and yet another chapter. Working on that guy right there. That's Chip Foose's 68 Firebird. So, I'll just, if you could just run that clip for me, and we'll get started. I got my coffee, and where are we? Well, this is where we're at. We have our engine and our chassis and our body and our interior all assembled. We're getting there. We're getting towards the end of the line. Obviously, we're not done yet, but we're getting there. Okay? And as you may have noticed, I have pulled one of the carburetors off of the engine because after test fitting the hood, I realized I actually had one carburetor just a hair off center. Speaking of off center, I've gone on the hood here. You can see that little white outline around there. That is because I've shaved off some of the plastic around there on an angle like this. Okay, it's like this and like this, so that when you look at this thing from the outside and you're looking down at an angle, you're not seeing a big wall of plastic to see just how thick that plastic is. Okay, the reason I do that is because if this is supposed to be mimicking sheet metal like your hood really would be, and real hood is thin, it's not, you know, it's not an inch thick steel, and so that's why I've done that. Okay, I've also done that. The second reason I've done that is because I have to carve this hole a little bit bigger, and the thinner the plastic, the easier it is to carve. I'll show you here just my little test fit. My carburetors are actually just a little, just like a hair too wide to fit through the hole. It really wouldn't take a lot to just shave that hole, just that hair, or even just shave off a hair off of the carburetors, and I could actually have it fit. Another thing I'm happy about is they are very centered. It's right centered in that hole, so that is really cool. If you guys remember my AC Cobra 427, and I put that Boss 429 engine in it, it wasn't quite exactly centered. It was just maybe a millimeter off to one side. This one is actually perfectly centered. But like I said, I realized my one carburetor actually was off just by maybe half a millimeter to one side. So I pulled it off of there, and I'll glue it on later on when we're ready to deal with the hood. Today though, we're going to be dealing with some other things. You can see I've got wheels sitting on my desk here. I've already assembled two of them. So we'll go through the wheels, and then we'll work on some other details on this thing. So I'll change the camera and I'll show you how we put our wheels together. Okay, so we start off with our chrome. Okay, chrome wheels. Now of course they're chrome, and where it's going to glue in on the other half, we have to scrape away the chrome. Okay, now you guys who hate chrome kit and you guys strip all the chrome off, then obviously you don't have to worry about this kind of thing. But if you're like me and you've left the kit chrome on there, you need to scrape away where it's going to touch and where you're going to put glue in on the plastic. Okay, so this is our back part. I originally thought they go like this, but I was totally wrong. They go like this. Okay, and it fits in like that. So this little lip is what's going to be going in there like this. Okay, so first thing we do is we take one of our little metal pins that come in the kit in the little bag. Pin goes through there like this. Okay, and then we'll put this together just like that. Okay, so I'm just going to take some thin glue and run this around that little seam. There we go. Give it a little turn just to make sure glue is actually getting in there, and there we go. So that one's done, and we'll do this again. Our fourth time. Get that pin in there. Get that hair out of there. And put those together. You don't have to worry about the nubs. Those nub marks, those get tucked in under the tires, so you're not going to see them anyway. So that's nice. So you just want to make sure the nubs are clean so that it doesn't interfere or cause any weird bubbles or whatever bunching up on the tires. There we go. Okay, and that's that. And the tires just slip over. Now the tires are directional, so you want to pay attention to that. You don't want to have your tires all weird. So these two are in the opposite directions, so we got to pay attention to that. So these are obviously going to be lefts and rights. They're going to sit like this. Okay, so that's those two. So we'll just make sure these two are opposites, like this. Okay, yep, and they just slide over like that. Make sure it's all the way. There we go. And there's tire number 3 done. And tire number 4 done. Just like that. So now we've got all 4 tires done. So we'll put 2 and 2 together here. It's going to be, these two are going to be for the let's see, these would be the right side of the car, and these are going to be the left. Actually, they're not, because I did actually get them mixed up, didn't I? These are the same direction. These are not. This one I got to turn around. See, even when I'm paying attention, I can still mix it up. Flip. There we go. So now we go like this. And my tires are backwards. So there should, when you got the tires like this, they should all face the same direction. And I've got them wrong. So let's correct this little error. Okay, so this should face this way, like that. I don't even know if the camera's not even picking up the detail on the tires, but this will be going like that. There we go. Now technically, for realism, this part, the back of the wheel, should be painted aluminum or as bright chrome as you can get it. That would be realistic because it's the back part of the rim. But I don't really care about that, because once you put it on the car, you never really look at the back side of the rims, right? Anyway, there's our 4 tires. Those are ready to be installed, but we're not doing that now. Okay? So let's look at our instructions. Last time we got this put together in the body, then we put the body onto the chassis. That is now all done. Okay? So next we're going to go down to here. We're going to look at our rear plate. That's this piece here. And we're going to put our tail lights in it, and we'll put the bumper on and our license plate frame. That's this guy right here. Okay, so let's take a look here. We need our tail light lenses, which are here. Let's get these off of the sprue. When I was a kid and I was building car models, I used to always try and paint the taillights so that they were like bright and so that you could see them really easily. And then getting older, I realized taillights are not always on. They're not always bright. And so what I would do is something like this. I would paint in behind it, paint it white or something, so that this really brightens up, right? That's what I used to do when I was a teenager anyway, building model kits. So we're just going to have these slide in like this. I don't think there's any left or right, and they just sit like that. And Nothing too special. Run some thin along there. Make sure it's pressed in. And that ought to take care of that. Alright. Do the same thing with this side. Again, just make sure it's pressed in. And there we go. Tail light's in. Just like that. Now, in doing some test fitting, what I've decided I want to do is put the bumper on first and then put this on the car, or maybe even put the bumper and the license plate on. The bumper, I've gone ahead and I did a test fit on it to see what part is going to be connecting, where I'm going to glue it. The only thing really that's connecting are the pins. The pins are going to hold it in, so I've already gone and scraped off the chrome off of the pins, okay, as they go in here and here, so that, well, the glue will work. Because if you don't do that, then your bumper will wind up falling off on you one day. So we just put it in like this, line up those pins, and like I said, line up the pins. There we go. Get it in. And then I'll put some glue on the back side here, okay, like that. And I'll use this one because this stuff holds a little stronger. There and there. Just hold that for a sec while that sets up. Maybe have a sip of my coffee. Okay. You see, it's not the tightest fit, right? But it's okay. In fact, this pin isn't even sitting in there proper. This pin is sitting in all the way. This one is not. It's not even sitting in there. See, the glue was starting to work on this side, but it's doing nothing on this one. So I need to widen this one a little bit. Try this again. Oh, I see what the problem is. The problem is that the bumper isn't quite bent to the exact same shape as the rear panel. Not exactly, it's about a hair off. A lot of things with hairs today. But that's better now. And with it like that, you could actually scrape the edge of the bumper and then put some glue in there if you wanted more hold than just the pins. But I think I'll be able to get away with what I've got. Just like that. Okay. So then we have our license plate frame, or license plate, I guess, which I'm just going to leave black. I will put the license, I'll put the Foose decal on it. Assuming our pins will line up. Sometimes our guide pins really just bug me. So you get a little bit of flash on one hole or something, and all of a sudden the pin don't fit. There we go. There, our license plate frame, or backing plate, whatever you want to call it, that's in. Some glue on those little pins. Okay. And that's on. Okay. So, with that together, we'll look at how it all goes in the back here. It's fairly simple. It just kind of sits in there like this. Get it flush and get it mounted flush into the back there, and that's about it. Just like this. So I'll put some glue on these little tabs where it's contacting in there, and I'll put some glue on the inside here where the sides are going to touch. I'll use my thicker glue. That, and then on our sides. I'm not sure if it's actually touching the back of the frame here, so in case it is, I'll put some glue on it. It basically just wraps all the way around the frame, so I don't know if it's actually touching or not, but put some glue on there just in case. And then we'll tuck this in under there, push her in. There we go. Just like that. If you don't push too hard, then because you risk pushing it past those little tabs. But that's it. There you go. The rear is in now. Just like that. Okay. So with that done, let's put this aside for a little bit. We're going to deal with our front grille. Okay, our front grille and headlights. Okay, so I've already taken this off, and I looked at some reference photos to see if this was just a chrome trim or if the whole thing was supposed to be chrome. And as I found out in my reference photos, this little filler panel in here, right in there where my knife is pointing, that in a lot of cars was a dark gray, and so that's what I've done on this, is I've painted it a dark gray in there. Okay, in along there, and then of course this part here I did in the Mr. Surfacer 1500 black, so it's all black there. Okay, because this is going to be visible under the hood once we put it in. And of course I've gone and scraped away the chrome on this edge down in here and in here, so that the glue will actually stay when we'll stick that in, and it'll be glued good. Okay, so we have headlights to install, and it looks like one little piece I've been wondering when I'm going to be using that. Looks like I'm going to be using that right now. That's this guy here. This is actually supposed to be the grill that goes in the back here like this, and is the grill like that. But because this is a solid piece, it doesn't look very realistic. I'm thinking of just leaving those hollow, because the detail there, this is all hollow back there. You put that in, and well, I think it's going to look pretty much the same anyway. So I'm just going to leave this piece off. I'm not going to use that piece. I won't use this piece at all. I think that's a little detail that's just not necessary at all. So yeah, I'll leave that off. We'll actually just do this, and gone. There we go. I'm going to keep my little slapper bars maybe for another build one day. Headlights. Headlights. Bing, ba, bing, ba, bing. We've got our 4 headlights right there. Let's get these off of the sprue. Okay. Let's just move this over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got one more thing on this sprue, and that's going to be our turn signal lenses. I just got my finger real good there. So there you go. Nipper safety. Don't put your finger in the tip of the nipper like that. That's going to hurt and maybe going to bleed a little bit, because that's what I got going on right now. So I might need a band-aid. I don't know. We'll see. If that wants to still bleed, I might have to get up and go get a band-aid. Yeah, she wants to bleed. So I'll be back in a minute.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Got a band-aid on, so I'm not actually getting stuff that I don't want. So I just need to make sure that these are good, and I need to change my glasses to see these things. So I just want to make sure they are nice and clean where the nubs were. I'm going to go through all 4 of them, cleaning them up like this. And I was thinking, which glue am I going to use? Normally I would use my Tamiya Extra Thin, but I think I want to give that UV glue a try. On these guys and see how that works. I know that it dries clear, and so I was thinking I'll just try that stuff. And yeah, we'll see how that stuff does. Okay, so my lenses are all cleaned up. So let's grab that UV glue. You guys remember this stuff from last time, right? I used this on my dash gauges. Bought this little kit on Amazon, and it seems to work pretty good. That. Over here. So I'll do test fit on one of my lenses first, just to make sure it actually fits in the little hole. Yeah, it does. Of course it's upside down now, but yeah, they fit good. They fit good. The trick, of course, is getting the lenses to be the right orientation and be straight. Get out of there. Okay. So, let's take this, and we'll put a little drop of glue in there. I'll do 2 at a time. I'm squeezing, and I'm supposed to be squeezing the body here, not the cap. There we go. Now some's coming out. Do this side too. Okay. Put our cap back on. The nice thing about this stuff is it doesn't cure. It only cures under UV light, so that is the neat thing about this. There we go, that one's centered. Get them oriented right. go. So then we just take the other end and we turn our light on. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And about the same on this one. Something like 20 seconds is all you need. Okay, let's see if that did it. Yep, 20 seconds, all you need. Isn't that awesome? So we'll put some more on this one. This one. This one. I think I have discovered my new favorite glue for doing these lights. UV glue, who would have thought? That one in there. That one in there. I'm going to turn this around, just so it's a little easier for me. All right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12, 13 and 14 and 15 and 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 and 20. And that's about all we need. All right. Little test here. Yep. It's cured. Done. Headlights in. Headlights are in, just like that. Okay. All right, I'm going to package this back up. Done. All right. So, with that done, we can put our front grille into the car, and we'll put on our clear lenses on the front here too. Okay, our signal light lenses. So, like I mentioned before, this sits in like this. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of glue in on this edge and on this edge. Okay, and I got a little bit of a lip right there, but that's okay. That's fine. So, you bad nipper, get out of the way. I can honestly say now my nipper's drawn blood. Alright. Just like that. I want to get a little bit of glue on the edge, just a tad. There we go. And get that in there like that. There we go. Grill is in. Grill and headlights. There we go. Obviously I need to touch up the paint along there where I've scraped that down to give that more of a beveled edge, because this sits down low. As you can see, if I get that on the right angle, you can see that this doesn't tuck in, it sits down low a little bit. And I think they've done that by design. I've got the radiator wall as high up as it'll go. Right. So, oh, and I did manage to get the upper radiator hose installed. I did manage to do that. I had to trim down the bottom of it just a hair, get the pin off of it, but I did manage to get it in there, and I've now got an upper radiator hose. So that's a nice little detail. Okay, so next is our lenses, our turn signal lenses. That's these two here. Again, we're going to be careful with our nippers and not nip our fingers. And of course we need to make sure that nub is clean off of there. Otherwise these will not fit in their little home. Now on the real Firebird, these would be amber colored, but mine's custom. This is a chip Foose car. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? He probably used clear lenses. He put clear lenses in it. You know, that's what I would have done. There's just something about clear lenses that changes things, changes the look of a car when you use clear turn signals instead of amber. So these are lefts and rights, so I'm just trying to determine which one is which here. If this is the right one. Oh, looks like our grill wants to play around. I don't know if that's the right one or not. I don't think it is. Our turn signal lenses do not really fit. They don't line up with the inserts very well. I can't even blame it on, you know, not putting the fenders on properly. These just are terrible molds and they don't fit right. They just don't fit right. I can glue them in, but they just look kind of hokey. They're very thick, and I believe I've got a parting line right inside the space where the lens is supposed to go, causing fitment problems. It's much more noticeable on this side. Let's get rid of that parting line. And I'm going to have to redo my grill, because now I've moved my grill a few times. I'm going to touch up right in this corner. And in this corner here. Okay. So my rear bumper's coming off. I'm gonna take it off completely here. Okay, let's get these lenses in. There's one. Let's go for the other one here. Let's get it turned around the right way. Yeah, really, that's the wrong way. Sits like that. All right. So our signal lenses are in now. Just like that. And that's it. So now I'm going to redo our rear bumper. And clearly, the tabs alone are not enough, so I'm going to scrape away a little bit on the back here on this side, and we'll add a little more glue and make this a little bit more secure. Let's move our car out of the way here. Just scrape away. This edge is not seen. So we're just going to make sure that whatever glue I put on here is going to actually work. Careful not to scrape this edge, because that is the edge. See, that's the edge that is actually seen. And I'll do the bottom part too. Probably should have done this before and not only relied on the pins. So if you only rely on the pins, then really you're relying on the perfect alignment to the body. And as we know, you don't always get that. Okay, so I'm going to hold this like this. And we're going to put some glue back on our pins and on our edge here. Because now we don't have the luxury of going in from behind. Line those up. There we go. Give her a little push. Now I could hold it like this. I don't think that's really going to do much. But as long as it's held in the middle as well as those pins, I think that's really all it needed. Just that little extra something, you know? There we go. So we've got a little bit of contact. We've got some contact here and here also, right? So that's good. And then of course contact right in the middle at the top there. So that's going to be a little bit extra strengthening. Okay, so that's that, and that means that's it for this page. This page is done. Okay, so we're going to flip over and see what's next. Final page. Last page, guys. Last page. Hood. We know which hood I'm using. I'm using the racing hood, but I'm using the, I put the tachometer on the racing hood, so that's that right there. Okay. I put the little decal, the tachometer decal on it right there. The camera doesn't pick it up, but you'll have to trust me. There's a little gauge in there. Okay. And I put it on the hood like that, and obviously I need to do some carving of that hole to get my thing to fit. I'll show you here. This is my little scoop that's going to actually be sticking out, but it doesn't quite fit, right? Not quite. I'll have to do a little bit off the back side here. I'll do that, and I've got to widen it a little bit at the front here, right? Other than that, it'll be all right. Okay, just like that. You see, like this, it just doesn't quite fit, right? Not quite. It's close, but not quite. But yeah, that's what it's going to look like. Okay. I'll do that. I'll do all that off camera because of yeah. So we've got a single rear view mirror or side view mirror, and then we've got two door handles, obviously off the chrome tree, and then we're going to put our tires on, and then that's going to finish the assembly. So let's grab the last couple of parts off our chrome tree. Okay. We'll put this guy here for now. And we've got a rear view mirror, or side view, I guess. This guy here. And we've got our two door handles. Be careful you don't snip the door locks off. Okay. And that's going to be it. That's the finished. No more on the chrome tree. That's it for that. Okay, so we do have holes in the body for our door handles to go in, which is nice, but that also means we need to scrape the chrome off those little tabs. Okay, otherwise they ain't gonna stay, and you'll wind up going, hey, I've lost a door handle on this side and I don't know why, and I don't know when. I didn't see it happen. And that's almost always the case. So I'll get the chrome off of there. Here we go. Taking the chrome off also helps it actually fit in the hole. Sometimes with the layer of chrome they put on them, it doesn't fit quite very nicely. And yeah, so taking that little layer of chrome that they've put on it. I guess you guys know this isn't real chrome that they put on there. I believe it is powdered aluminum that they put on these kits. And then we have the spot where it's going to make contact onto the body for this here. Okay, so what they have on this side, they've got just a little notch right here where the mirror is going to sit. And so we'll take a look at how that's going to fit. That's going to just sit like this. And so we'll get rid of the chrome on that edge. It happens to be the edge where the sprue was connecting to it. So we'll get rid of that little blob and scrape that away. Because that's where it contacts. That. Just making sure that's nice and flat where it's supposed to be. Okay, there we go. So let's start with a door handle. We'll pick one. They are lefts and rights, so we got to make sure we got the right ones. There we go. Oh. Just line up that little tab and push it in like that. That's how it goes, just like that. Okay, so I'll take a little dab of glue underneath there. Push that down, there we go. And that's done. Gotta make sure, there we go. Oops. I guess it does rotate a little bit. You don't want to do that though. You want it straight. Okay, just like that. One door handle. Okay, we'll do the other side. Again, just slides right into that hole nicely. Just make sure it's in all the way and it's straight. There we go. Door handles are on. Just like that. And now we'll do our mirror. This glue so that I can position it on there. A little bit of glue on the bottom there. And into that little notch right there. Right there. Just like that. One little mirror installed. And that, last thing to do are wheels. Now, the wheels they show you don't have to glue. Okay? You don't have to glue them in. Okay? You should be able to just shove the wheels into position. So let's pick the correct sides, like this, and it should, in theory, just push into the hole. Okay, that's tight, so let's just make sure I got this side right. Okay, and this way I'm actually pushing wheel against wheel. There's enough friction that it just holds it. Like that. And they turn. Nice. Okay, so there's our rears. So now we'll do the fronts. But the front, remember I told you guys I made the hole in the front an oval, so they just fit in and they're sloppy. I need to actually glue the fronts in. Okay? Because I made it so that you can see I've got a little bit of play there. I wanted these tucked up maybe just a tiny little bit into the fender a little bit, just to give the car that little bit of a rake instead of being like this. This is how they would have been. I wanted it like that. It's a very, very subtle, minor little difference, but I wanted to have that. So I'm going to get some CA glue so I can glue those pins in. Okay. And I'm going to take my last sip of coffee and get my CA applicator, patent pending, and I'll put some on the pin here. Now if I happen to get too much on there and I glue the wheel solid, I'm not going to cry over that. Because of the way it is. It's just, well, it's the way it is. And yeah, I'm gonna have to glue it solid. I went and drilled the hole big enough that the pin's just gonna fall out. So I've just got to put enough CA glue on it that it's gonna glue solid. This side. So the only thing I need to do is make sure my wheel's straight up and down. There we go. Oop. Sometimes that means holding it for a minute. There we go. Wheel's in. It's straight. Is it straight? Not quite. Close enough. Okay. Last wheel. Same thing. This one in. Just hold it for a sec. There we go. There we go. Wheels in. There's our Camaro, guys. I said Camaro. Ew, Camaro. It's not a Camaro. It's a Firebird. There's our Firebird. And she's not sitting, she's not level. Why aren't you level? You should be level. Oh, I just took the mirror off. And this wheel is not glued. I need to redo the glue on this one, which is just as well because it wasn't sitting level anyway. So let's put enough on there. And I'll actually set the cart down this time while the glue is curing. This. Actually, this wheel is causing an issue. It's not the other wheels. When I get it straight, there we go. As soon as I put the car down on its own weight, the wheel wants to screw up. Why are we doing this? This wheel's riding high for some reason. I'm gonna have to work on our little slot there and get this wheel proper. So let's just fix this. Let's get my little glob of glue off of there. Okay. And we're gonna work on that little slot. Okay. I forgot my timer, so I have no idea how long it's been. We're going to use this bit with my little rotary tool. Okay, we use this guy. And we're going to slot that hole just a little bit more. This is what I did before. And this will allow me to position that wheel where it needs to be. So now we've got a nice slotted hole there. Let's put that down. And this wheel should now sit a little better. Still sitting high. It shouldn't be sitting that high. Not sure why it's sitting that high in there. It should be tucked right up into there. And so that's where we're going to do it. Okay. Glue. Glue on this. And we'll put our wheel in. There we go. Wheel is in. She's finally in her home. Okay. I need to re-glue my mirror on. So there's that. Okay. So I'll just leave this like this for now. Where'd my mirror go? Hey, you're not supposed to turn. I'm gonna leave my car up on an angle a little bit like this. There. Okay, glue for my mirror. So I can get my mirror reinstalled. Okay, mirrors installed, wheels installed, that's our car. Alright guys, so that's it. this is our Firebird. Okay, and that's it. Obviously, I got to put my carburetor on there, and I need to carve that hood. Other than that, it's done. It's done. So, this is going to be the final chapter. What I'm going to do is, once this is all cured and dried and it doesn't want to move stuff anymore, I will take some pictures of it and I'll put it up on my Instagram like I do with every other build that I do. You guys know this already. I do that with every build, so check out the links in the description box below there, and you'll see the links to my Instagram and to my Twitch, so you could actually watch me on Twitch live and actually talk to me while I'm doing this stuff, if you so choose. If that's what you feel like doing, then by all means, I welcome it. Go ahead. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching, and thanks for all the support and all the new subscribers recently. You guys are freaking awesome. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah, speaking of which, hit that like button and subscribe wherever that subscribe button is down there. I don't know where it is in relation to the video, but yeah, once I do hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a collaboration with my fiance, and we're going to build Porsches together. And so that would be interesting. She's never built a model in her life, though she does have some artistic skills, definitely. So that'll be interesting to see how she likes it and see how she does. And of course, I'll be guiding her along the way. So if she runs into any issues, you know, she's got help. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you again for watching, and thanks for coming out. And it's been a pretty decent build series. I like this kit. It went together really well, in spite of me putting a custom engine in it and having to do some custom stuff. When you look at it, you can't really tell very much that I had to do a lot of cutting and grinding and shaving off in spots. But yeah, it looks good. And so, like I said, links down below to my Instagram where you can see pictures. Once I got this all done, I'll upload those. And we'll see you all in the next one.